Are left-handed people smarter, or are right-handed people more intelligent? Today, I've taken the main points from an article about left-handedness, and I've mixed things around to construct a listening activity. The article in question is called Are Left-Handed People Smarter? And it's by Julie Marks and was written on the 11th of March 2021 on healthline.com. The lesson is most appropriate for B1 to B2 level, which is about 5 to 6 on the IELTS or intermediate in my classes. So before we start, I want to give you a listening activity. So here's a list of statements that might be talked about in the article. I want you to guess whether each one is true, false, or not given in the article. Then you can check your answers as you listen. So the first statement. Teachers in the United States used to force left-handed students to become right-handed. Number 2. People used to associate left-handed people with the devil from Christianity. And number 3. Right-handers may have superior verbal skills. Number 4. Scientists believe that your hand preference is down to random chance. Number 5. Your hand preference develops before birth. And number 6. Barack Obama, Aristotle, and Bill Gates are just a few famous left-handers. So, as I read this article, remember that you don't need to understand everything that I say. If you understand everything, then it means that this level is too easy for you. So, let's get started. Historically, left-handed people have been viewed and treated as outcasts. In the Middle Ages, left-handed people feared being accused of witchcraft. As recently as the early 20th century, many educators in the United States forced left-handed people to retrain their natural tendencies to become right-handed. Scientists also used to think that left-handedness was due to minor brain damage in early development. These myths have been debunked over the years, and some have asserted that being left-handed is actually associated with higher intelligence. But research seems to support both sides of the argument. For example, a 2010 study in the Journal of the International Neuropsychological Society revealed that strong right-handers seem to perform slightly better on cognitive tests when compared to left-handers. And a study in neuroscience and biobehavioral reviews suggested that right-handed people had slightly higher IQ scores compared to left-handers. However, the scientists noted that intelligence differences between right and left-handed people were negligible overall. On the other hand, some studies show that left-handers have the upper hand. So, a 2007 study in the Journal of the Indian Academy of Applied Psychology found that out of 150 subjects, left-handed participants were significantly more likely to perform better on an intelligence test than right-handed people. Right-handers also took more time to complete the test. Another study in the journal Brain in 2019 revealed that there are genetic differences between left-handers and right-handers. Examining data on about 400,000 people, scientists discovered that the left and right hemispheres of the brain were better connected and more coordinated in regions involving language in left-handed people. These traits suggest that left-handed individuals may have superior verbal skills. So, overall, left-handers may be better at taking tests and speaking. But how do we become left-handed or right-handed? Well, scientists believe that your hand preference is a complex characteristic that's influenced by many factors, including genetics, environment, and random chance. Hand preference develops before birth and becomes more obvious during early childhood and throughout one's life. Cultural influences and prenatal exposures may also play a role in determining handedness. So before we wrap up, here is a short list of famous left-handed people. The philosopher Aristotle, the French Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte, baseball legend Babe Ruth, Renaissance artist Leonardo da Vinci, former President Barack Obama, Microsoft founder Bill Gates, and me. Okay, we'll leave the article there. So let's have another look at those true and false statements. If you want to check again before I give the answers, just rewind. There's no problem with that. So number 1, teachers in the United States used to force left-handed students to become right-handed. And that was true. They did used to force students to be right-handed. Number 2, people used to associate left-handed people with the devil from Christianity. That one was not given, but it was true. It's not in the article, but it's true. Number 3, right-handers may have superior verbal skills. And that one was false. Actually, left-handers seem to have superior verbal skills. Number 4, scientists believe that your hand preference is down to random chance. Now, a bit of a tricky one here. This one is false because scientists believe it's down to more than random chance. So they said it's down to random chance, environment, and genetics, and possibly cultural influences and prenatal exposure. Prenatal exposure is experiences you have before you were born. Number 5, your hand preference develops before birth. That's true. And number 6, Barack Obama, Aristotle, and Bill Gates are just a few famous left-handers. And again, that's true. So let me know in the comments how you did, and whether anything in this article was surprising to you. If you'd like an extra challenge, listen again and try to figure out the meanings of these words. Negligible, tendency, intelligence, slightly, and assert. I'll see you next time.